And we should be live. Hey, kitty.
Live and exciting. So if you're coming here early for podcast 119, that should start in just a little under 5 minutes. And if you're here
Give
right
that back.
now, if you're here right now, the charge nurse can't make it last night. So you have to just wait through like normal time. But otherwise, you can scoot ahead and get right to the beginning of our show.
I had a
Oh,
cat trying to steal my earbud.
did you smack it? Or
No,
is it,
it was. I didn't know it was hanging loose. I
was it,
have one in my ear and the other one was hanging down, and I didn't know it was hanging down.
is it a good cat?
It's a good cat. It's the bestest cat.
There is only one good cat. All right, and it is showing that we are live, so you are correct. We'll tell everybody hi. Oh, yes. Hannah did it in a high voice because it pertaining to be you.
Oh, I see.
He would boing. That's even better. Oh, let's see what's up out in the world. Let's see.
You're supposed to be talking about something here.
Oh, well, let's
It's
see.
not
I
very
was look.
interesting if you're not talking about something, and people rarely tune in just to hear silence.
That's true. Um, and in fact, I will note that Jordan Peterson is now tweeting back and forth with Mark Cuban.
That's
It
odd.
says, yes, I'm not influencing young people to castrate and sterilize themselves. That's the difference. The offer stands, and I appreciate you taking me up on it. I'll DM you. See, Jordan Peterson is kind of a meth addict. Yeah, allegedly. So Mark Cuban's response, are you sure you don't influence? You have as much proof that she does as you don't. Just because Mark
What the hell are they
Cuban,
talking about?
trans stuff. And Mark Cuban seems, what's the word, like, stupid. Again, he's a
Yeah,
billionaire,
I
right?
know.
You know, so he did
He
something
does seem
right.
kind of stupid.
He is the guy who put radio on the internet. That was based on him, that character. I don't know if you remember him from Silicon Valley.
The the
The,
the three commas guy. That's
yes,
Mark
Trace
Cuban.
Thomas.
Okay.
That
Okay.
was based on Mark Cuban, that he's just kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
And Jim, what? Jim just joined us.
Hello, Jim.
And I'm going to let him know I can promise cannibalism tonight.
Well, now I'm worried.
Well, no. I mean,
Massive cannibalism.
as a bit. Oh, well, that's working. Let's see.
What's working?
And Mark here is here astonishingly early. Hey, Mark.
Hey,
Welcome. I was just bagging on Mark Cuban.
Let me play Mark in.
I heard. Are we? I've been here for like a couple minutes.
See, but you have your entry sound now.
So Mitch McConnell's going to step down. I'm not talking about that. So that's not, not taking anything down.
Are you? Are we talking about that later or now?
No, we're just, this is just the pregame show because we're about 60 seconds out from Go, Go, Go.
Ah, Jim, we were watching Kentucky Ballistics too.
Yes, the
Were you
talking
watching
the
the
punt
one
gun
where
in the safe.
where you shot used the punt gun on the safe?
And we'll have to wait for Jim to respond. I'm John Smack. And this is Bombs and Bands Ballistics.
I don't have a smack sound, but I do have a bonk sound.
We could just steal it from Scott. Whoosh.
Here, oh no, that's not it.
And so Jim and I we're watching the
this sound.
same stuff. That's funny. You and Jim and I were sitting watching the
Yeah,
same thing
watching
in
the
different
same
rooms.
thing. Well, you and I were in the same room.
Yes, we were in the same room. And yep. Oh, all right. Oh, it's 8 o'clock.
Oh my goodness.
Jim will be Scooter.
Okay, you're
No,
right.
actually, it's 7 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock. But who's counting? Apparently none of us.
I mean, clearly there's the clock, guys. So,
30 seconds late. Oh my god.
all right, let's roll it.
Bombs and Bants. Bombs and Bants.
All systems go.
Bombs and Bants.
Defiance.
Bombs and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bombs and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome to the 119th live edition of Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I am your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from the penthouse control room of the majestic Wilder Industry skyscraper. With me, as always, is Mark.
Hey, everyone.
And the missus.
Hello, you happy people.
You
You look marvelous.
You make my butt twitch.
That's a different accent. That's French.
That is a different. It's French.
You Americans, you make my butt twitch.
So, speaking of French, do you have any funny things for us? To
I
begin
do
our
have funny things.
show?
Yes.
I knew you did.
I do have funny things. So here's the first one. Criminal life hack. Wear extra,
extra
fingers. So the photo video evidence will be inadmissible because it will look like it's AI generated. Now,
I like it.
This next one I saw earlier today, and literally the funniest thing that I've seen all day. It's Alaska humor, though, so your mileage may vary.
Yes, indeed. It's horrible. You get there, you're in Anchorage. If you're from Alaska, you'd understand that joke.
And
Alaska, it's only a short drive from, or Anchorage, it's only a short drive from Alaska.
Yeah, one of the comments on that particular post, this one, was the plus side is that, you know, when you're in downtown Anchorage, it's only a short 45-minute drive to get to Alaska.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And here's my last funny.
Does that mean Biden's Mr. Green Jeans? If they wash them, they wouldn't be green.
I'm going to say Captain Kangaroo wore it better.
Well, he has the tie on. I mean, he looks dapper.
All right.
She's got
so
like some
we-
stragglers hanging off her hair there too. I don't know what's going on with that.
It's, you know, when everything bursts in the morning, some come out earlier than others, and
It's gotta be it.
so I did skip the part of how was your off week? Did you get fully rested and ready, Mark, having all the free time?
What off week? Last week?
Yeah, because we didn't do the podcast last week.
Oh, I don't even remember what I did last week. I'm probably just sat around on my butt watching television.
See, a life isn't memorable without Bombs and Bants.
That's right. That's right.
That's true.
Yeah, and the missus and I were finishing off an 18-year project, and that finished a lot, worked out pretty well. Wouldn't you say, dear?
I would say so.
It's all
Pretty
done.
pleased with it.
Done.
Yeah.
Done. Jim notes that's what's her name's buckwheat do. So there you go.
It's true.
Well-
Buckwheat wore it better.
I think Eddie Murphy wore it better. All right. Well, since we're into politics, let's just stay stuck there. The great grand, well, it says POTUS, but he's really the resident of the U.S., got a big shot of uppers in his lower and made a rare public appearance on Seth Meyers' lame late-night TV show this week.
Do people still watch late night TV shows?
No, they really don't. Greg Gutfeld gets better ratings than any of those
I know.
guys.
Yeah. And
So roll the tape.
yeah, we do have some audio of it. Yeah, and I just wonder, where do they find these people? What rocks are these people living under? Anyway, let's listen to it. Here we go.
There's something that I've been it just speaks to the era we live in now. There's a Dark Brandon conspiracy meme. And this is something that you seem to have a lot of fun with. You've co-opted Dark Brandon. This is a yard sign. And do you enjoy playing around with the Dark Brand meme?
No, I resent the hell
That's
out of
on
it.
sunglasses.
honestly is there are 18% of Americans, according to recent polling, have believe that you and Taylor Swift are actually working in cahoots. And after the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, you posted this on social media and you wrote, "Just like we drew it up." Now, I have you on the hot spot here. Can you confirm or deny that there is an active conspiracy between you and Miss Swift?
Where are you getting this information? It's classified.
It's classified information?
That's classified
You won't share it with us?
I'm not gonna, but I will tell you, she did endorse me in 2020.
She did. I bet you.
And then they had some ice cream. Joe Biden there looking like he's auditioning for a role in a gay porno movie.
Got a little bit on your chin, sir. So here's the thing that bothers me about this, and Mark, feel free to jump in anytime. These are the lowest of low bars for Biden. He has to show up. He has to say 3 or 4 scripted lines in just about the right place, and manage not to pee his pants while he's on stage, which he can even probably do that because he's wearing Depends. So your take, Mark.
Well, I like to look at the positive side, which is that even without glasses, he was still able to read the cue cards.
Well, yeah, clearly that was all rehearsed.
Yeah, but there's no way he could have memorized lines that long.
Right. Or remembered them. Without having to
So
resort
he had
to
to, so he had to be reading off the cue cards.
Anyway, I shouldn't say anything more. Anyway, you don't say anything more because you can't say anything more because you lost your train of thought. Not that that doesn't happen to me, but
he has a complete tell when he does it. He just stops because he realizes he's utterly lost the plot, has no idea, and he's anyway. And we were watching another video beforehand, the Liberal Hive Mind, which is a show I'll give a shout out to because, why not?
that's a good podcast, yeah.
It is. It's, it's like 3 8-minute episodes a day. When I first saw it, I thought it was a little too slick and overly produced, but I've grown to like it.
But then you just realize that ours is underproduced, so.
And well, it's a virtue. It's a virtue.
I put it together in the garage with some duct tape and some glue. Hair I found on the floor.
So anyway, it was Pump. It was Pump. It was Trump. I've only had one swallow of beer. That's the worst part about that. It was Trump doing a perfect impression of Biden. Down to his physical mannerisms and his befuddledness, and it was spot on. And I'll tell you, if the man can do that, he is sharp. He is sharp. You may or may not like him, but he is sharp. Might be a $400 million less money pretty soon, but sharp. But you have a song about Joe Biden, don't you?
I do. It's been a while since we've done some songs, so here we go for your enjoyment.
Whether in the White House or out on a stroll, he'll slurp an ice cream from a cone 'cause he's a wrinkled troll. Oh, Joe Biden loves ice cream, it's his favorite treat. It's really all that he can eat because he has no teeth. Topped with sprinkles or with fudge, the ice cream he does stalk. He shoves it in his mouth each time the press asks him to talk. Oh, Joe Biden loves ice cream, it's his favorite treat. It's really all that he can eat because he has no teeth. He gives it to his Chinese friends when they drop by to sup. No matter what the policy, old Joe will fuck it up. Oh, Joe Biden loves ice cream, it's his favorite treat. It's really all that he can eat because he has no teeth. Here comes Hunter with a cone 'cause it's what he did buy. He's 10% to his sweet dad 'cause he's a stand-up guy. Oh, Joe Biden loves ice cream. It's his favorite treat. It's really all that he can eat because he has no teeth.
So, you know, I realize that I actually sound better when I sing when I'm doing like a stupid voice. Because I started that in my normal voice, and then I switched to this voice. It sounded a lot better.
If only the Georgia Guidestones could translate those wonderful words you said.
You could understand that? It's because you're deaf.
I could. I'm not deaf.
You are.
Mark, the one thing you got to be the most thankful for is we'd never ask you to sing.
Yeah, you should be thankful.
Well, and you got to say, I haven't been singing much since I did that Judas Priest song. Well, oh my God, that's what I sound like. It's awful. You're going to cut that out in post, aren't you? All right. Republicans dragged Hunter in front of Congress today, but CBS News is pretty sure they've helped those Bidens get away with it.
A star informant of the FBI, somebody whose story has been a justification for this whole inquiry. His story appears to have fallen apart. The FBI says Alexander Smirnov, shown there on the left, made up stories about the Bidens, potentially stories planted by Russian foreign agents. Republicans will plow ahead, though, with this deposition today, even though part of the justification for their probe has been kneecapped.
And what about the laptop? I mean, they're snatching
And
on that.
Tony Bobolinsky, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's like saying you couldn't find all of Kennedy's skull, so you can't, say he's dead.
Right,
It's
right.
literally the stupidest thing I ever heard.
And it turns out that Joe Biden is just the weird neighbor in a mask all along.
Gee whiz, gang. Looks like the killer gutted the victim, strangled him with his own intestines, and then dumped the body in the river.
Jinkies, what a mystery.
You're right, Scoob. We're dealing with one sick son of a bitch.
One of my favorites. Mark, did you miss that episode?
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
You were saying.
Oh, well, I just find it amusing, if that's the right word, that the Democrats are so upset and the media are so upset about Smirnov's, or however you say his name's, story falling apart, when they had absolutely no problem with making up the same type of crap against Trump.
I know. What kind of stupid moron would believe a Russian who came up with these ludicrous stories about a president? What idiots.
Oh, yes. Excuse me, I have a hotel room got clean. All right. Let's go to story 3. When Haber the neighbor gives your trees some free labor, his giant fine you can savor. Again, from Columbia Broadcasting System News.
This homeowner found 40 downed trees on his property. Some of them were 150 years old.
This isn't because a storm came through, right?
No,
so
no.
what happened here?
It was a hurricane of chainsaws.
40-year-old Sammy Shinway came home from work and heard chainsaws in the woodsy backyard he owns behind his home in Kenilworth, New Jersey. He confronted the work crew.
So what are you guys doing? And they told me that they were hired to cut trees down.
Except the problem is, this is your property, right? There's no question about that.
Correct.
That's not all. Some of the trees left standing had their tops lopped off.
Those red cedar trees were topped off. They're eventually going to die.
So who would do such a thing? Well, court documents say it was a neighbor identified as Grant Haber. He's a counterterrorism expert who's appeared on right-wing media.
Within 4 months, the Iraq government collapsed.
He lives in this beautiful home. His motive? Get this. Shinway says his neighbor just wanted a better view.
Another one of those evil Republicans.
I do have breaking news.
What's that?
This is either the best thing that's ever happened or the worst thing that's ever happened.
Okay.
They're doing a Naked Gun reboot. And in the Leslie
Nielsen.
Yes, Leslie Nielsen is Liam Neeson.
It's going to be
Again,
terrible.
I think
It's going to be terrible.
I'm sorry. I took us entirely away from
You
the
did.
tree
You
story.
did. You took us away from
But that was very interesting. So, what do you think about trees, or Liam Neeson, or Liam Nelson, or Leslie Nielsen?
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, who are you talking to?
Me? I actually I'd read a little bit about this tree issue earlier today. I thought that, at least maybe if it's the same one, I thought that he'd had damages that were awarded.
They fined him like $13,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
But,
$1 million.
It just seems ridiculous. I mean, what they really should have done is required him to replant all the trees with same size. Because he's not going to, I mean, he cut them down for a better view. So, I mean, it's not, he makes enough. A $13,000, $14,000 fine isn't going to punish him.
And, and if we don't fix that, this is how the Russians win. That was a joke. Okay.
Oh, okay. Do I need to indicate that was a joke? Since no one would know otherwise? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me find the thing. Crap, I can't remember where it is. I can't remember what it's called. Okay, now I remember what it is. But I can't find it. Oh, come on. There we go. This is indicative of the entire podcast tonight. I can't find it. Now I can find it, but it's like 5 minutes too late.
All right. It's time to get a little provocative. And I ask you, is that an illegal Burmese python in your pants, or are you just happy to... Oh my God, that's a real snake.
A man was sentenced after he tried to smuggle 3 Burmese pythons in his pants while crossing the border from Canada to the United States, according to officials. Calvin Bautista, a 38-year-old man from Richmond Hill, New York, was sentenced this week to 1 year of probation and fined $5,000 after he attempted to smuggle the pythons into the country through the Champlain port of entry in New York on July 15, 2018.
That's amazing. They could find 3 pythons, but they can't find full-sized, Hispanic adults sneaking in across the border.
But wouldn't it be funny if they wrestled the Hispanic adults like this guy's wrestling this gigantic python in the picture?
Well, the reason that they can't find them is this. You ready? They're not looking for the illegals.
Dun, dun, dun! You're kidding.
Well,
my.
That's why there's a full FBI no-knock raid on a journalist who was just there on January 6th. Yet,
FBI, open up!
yes, indeed, can't find an illegal in a haystack. So, anyway. Moving along, you have a song or a bit. Oh, you have this has got to be a bit.
It is a bit. Here we go. Are you tired of unexpected guests slithering into your trousers? Introducing Snake Guard Pants, the ultimate solution to keep snakes out of your pants.
A snake! In my pants!
Snake Guard Pants are especially designed with state-of-the-art snake-repelling technology. Our patented fabric creates a barrier that snakes just can't penetrate.
I used to dread going into the garden, but now with Snake Guard Pants, I feel safe and secure.
Thanks to Snake Guard Pants, I can finally enjoy hiking without worrying about unexpected snake encounters.
Don't let snakes ruin your day. Get Snake Guard Pants today and keep those slithery intruders out of your pants for good. Snake Guard Pants, because nobody likes a surprise in their trousers.
And you should have ended that one with Biden going, well, I know I don't.
I don't know if I have that, so.
It sounds like some sort of anti-rape ad.
There's a lot of places we don't want to go on that one. All right. I will note that would you like to go to Jackass or would we like to do our Conversation Street? I can go either way.
I don't care, whatever.
Well, let's go Jackass.
Are you directing that at me?
Are you threatening me?
Let's go Jackass.
Okay, Jackass.
This is Neil Young,
Hey, get that jackass out of here!
and I'm proud to present my Brain Jackass of the Week.
I'd like to remind everyone this is audience participation, so there will be a quiz at the end. And the answer is easy. It's either number 1 or number 2. Wait, we'll stop there. The first
Wait a
candidate
minute,
here.
I think we have a comment on that.
Fecal matter.
Yes, thank you, Johnny.
So the first contestant is the current presidential candidate, Hickey Naley. And she got curb stomped in her own state. It was really bad. Of course, the newspaper was saying 40% didn't vote for Trump. Yeah, this is her home state. But maybe God just doesn't like her very much.
I feel blessed tonight. I've felt through this entire journey. Even when it's been tough, I haven't lost sight of that. I've felt God's strength and grace every step of the way.
Yeah, she may be not feeling that quite so much now that the Kochs have pulled their money.
And I am certainly wondering which God she is talking about, because she was raised as a Sikh, but then still goes to Sikh church, but also to Christian church.
Ooh,
So I
does
think
that mean
she's-
she carries a sword with her wherever she goes?
I think so. I think she's got Sikh Christianity. I think that is what it is called. And I'm just going right from Indian straight into Crazy Z. All right. Maybe I am Jackass of the Week, eh?
I think it's more than a weekly thing, honey.
Hickey Naley is number 1. Number 2, NBC's Joy Reid freaks out.
The United States has a population of north of 327 million people. Why do we need more kids? If more people come into the southern border, this is some sort of crisis because we've got too many people and we've got no more space and we can't afford more people. But now you're saying we need more kids? Can you explain who's the we and what's the purpose?
And I'll jump in there. Not you, Joy. Not you. All right. There's a comment from the shallow end of the gene pool. So we have number 1, Hickey Naley getting hurt after her curb stompination. And MSNBC's Joy Reid. So the question that I have for the audience. Jim Wetzel says Biden votes number 2. Willie Cully is voting for Shiva.
Fecal matter.
Tim Turner is voting number 2. And Mark is voting.
Come on, man.
Number 2.
Number 2. There's no mathematical, just like Hickey Naley, there's no way she could win this one either. So Joy Reid, congratulations, you're Jackass.
And this has been the Brain Jackass of the Week.
I tell you, everyone should be proud. Nimrata is absolutely the Jeb Bush of the Sikh people.
Please clap. It was in stereo.
Yes. Yes, it very much was in stereo. All right. Very good. Are we ready for that stroll down that street, which we call Conversation?
And now it's time for us to take a stroll down the smooth sidewalks of Conversation Street.
All right. I have one simple topic for tonight. It's when is this Chinese spy balloon not a Chinese spy balloon anymore? The closest I've got is when it's 2024. The latest balloon was reported 5 days ago. The latest Chinese spy balloon, over Colorado, reported, nothing happened. Mark, why? Why?
Well, I think you got it right. It's 2024. They don't. Biden's doing so terrible. They don't dare do. The media doesn't dare report anything that might embarrass him further.
So you're saying we could have double secret COVID crossed with AIDS that's deliverable through the air or by sight, and they wouldn't mention it?
You know, the Russians could probably, or the Chinese could probably nuke a city, and we wouldn't hear about it.
Well, it's Conversation Street. Mrs. Jump on in.
Yeah, I thought I was. I was just jumping in with sound effects.
Oh.
Hey, wait a
those
minute.
are ching
What?
ching. Those are ching ching side effects. You should be. If you're going to jump in, you have to have jump in side effects.
Wait a minute. What is that over there?
Like-
Is that Nikki Haley's campaign?
And that is what I was going to say. By Jove, you are certainly as articulate as Nikki Haley about that. Very good. Good show.
Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man.
Oh.
And what am I doing here?
Well, you have to admire the fact that Biden can still figure out where the ice cream cone goes.
Yes,
He's not like
Thank God
sticking
for
on
that.
his forehead or something, right?
I'm a unicorn.
Yeah.
Let me show you my anaconda. I got the pants on. All right. I think we should get out of here before it goes into the New Orleans version of Conversation Street. Take us away. Or is there an outro?
I still don't have an outro for that.
Okay. Well, let's jump into. Think about that. This is not a repost.
Think real fast.
There we go. That was better.
Okay. This is not a repeat. Sleepy Joe says he's going to ban assault weapons today. He said it again, and high capacity magazines for sure this time. Mark, do you think he's going to go after assault 3D printers too?
You know darn well they are at some point.
The missus, do you think that Joe wants ours so he can give them to Ukraine? Is Crazy Z having sale?
That's probably it. Yeah.
No.
It's probably nothing to worry about.
No, the reason he won't, even if he sees all of them, is because there's no money in it for the defense contractors.
Oh, that's right. Well, what if he has Raytheon season for it from us? Then Raytheon and Boeing can make a buck.
Well, yeah, that's true. And I suppose if he sold them to sleazy arms dealers, it wouldn't matter. Sort of like we've done in past wars, where they like the Afghanis when they were fighting against the Soviets, they delivered them weapons that were from World War II and so badly corroded they didn't even work. But that's the CIA.
Well, speaking of Ukraine, we have breaking news.
Breaking news.
Just like the Bears are winning more and more games, Russia is making more and more gains as Avdiivka becomes it's now in the rearview mirror. Mark, how many billion more are required to buy a victory, or at least lots of cocaine for Crazy Z?
Probably our gross domestic product for the next decade.
Okay, fair enough. The missus is the celebrity lookalike for Vladimir Putin, most likely like a 1997 Phil Collins.
I'm not sure what 1997 Phil Collins looks like.
What the hell is going on?
Looks a lot like Putin.
Okay.
It was after the carbs. All right. Moving just slightly to the north, Canada now has a bill for online hate. And by bill, I mean, some people are charging them for online hate. It's always been free. But Canada has a bill in their parliament or whatever they have for online hate that contains a $70,000 fine for hate speech and life imprisonment for hate crimes. Now, here's the great thing about the law, because this is such a devastating thing to do. Accusers may be anonymous. There's no open court. There's no evidence required, and people can be jailed for crimes they might commit in the future. Mark, if 70,000 Canadian dollars is about $350, is life imprisonment in Canada only about 6 months?
Well, if you opt for their assisted suicide, I'm sure that, yeah, you could cut it down to 6 months.
Yes, indeed. There's a true story I can't tell on YouTube about someone who may or may not have been safe and affected and ended up paralyzed, and they offered her a different injection. The missus, is Canada the big...
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2+.
I'm sorry. Every time you mention Canada, he just elbows his way in. Yeah.
The missus, is Canada the big red nose in the clown world of life?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
I think you've got the wrong end of the moose there.
Fecal matter.
April 22nd is the date, and the Don won't be late, as his case suggesting he's immune due to official actions is set to meet the Supreme Court. Mark, the important question here is, should the Supreme Court's official corporate sponsor be Taco Bell or Pizza Hut?
That's a good question. Frankly, I'm gonna have to go with McDonald's.
McDonald's? Oh, I think it's wrong, because the missus, doesn't Pepsi win either way?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
That's how we should.
We'll move along.
That's how we should choose the next president. It should be a blind taste test.
Oh boy! Let your taste decide.
This tastes like a senile 80-year-old man.
We'll have to go to the tiebreaker. All right. All right. A German ship armed with U.S. MQ-9 missiles accidentally shot a U.S. drone. How could it get worse? Both of the U.S. missiles malfunctioned and fell into the sea. So, again, a German ship armed with U.S. missiles tried to shoot at a U.S. drone, but our missiles didn't work. Mark, will World War III look more like a Benny Hill skit or an episode of Mr. Bean?
Considering that they're going to bring, they're admitting trannies into the military, I'm going to have to go with the Benny Hill skit.
That's pretty fair.
Woo! World War III.
All right. The missus, do you think the modern German army has taken Biden's advice and gotten rid of all their assault weapons too?
I think they have assault rocks. Salt rocks. Speaking of taste, they're ready for the taste test. Salty rocks.
You know what's ready for the taste test is the insulation they use on their wiring and their military equipment.
Well, we're boned.
I don't know if you saw the article that apparently rodents have been eating the insulation off the military equipment that the Europeans have been providing the Ukrainians because they made it out of corn fiber instead of, and because that's greener than using plastic. Having to rip out all this wiring and replace it. That's the funniest thing I've heard.
You are mistaken, because same thing happened during World War II. It actually did happen to the German tanks when they went holes down in wintertime and kind of covered up and insulated. Come springtime, when it was time to get the panzers moving again, the rats had eaten all the wires. So
Game over, man. It's game over.
all right. Alec Baldwin's armorer from the movie Rust is on trial for forgetting real ammo for a while. Alec was shooting and not at Putin. Mark, do you think that Hollywood actors should be required to use real ammo all the time to teach them a lesson?
I think that if they ever say anything about using or about repealing or the Second Amendment or gun control, that yes, I think that if they thereafter use a weapon on a set, they should be required to use live ammo so they can actually learn what weapons can and cannot do.
There you go. The question for you is, should the Germans hire Alec Baldwin to increase their weapons effectiveness?
I think so, yeah. There's a possibility they could kill more people.
You must understand, Hogan.
Yeah.
We have a secret weapon. It is Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, that's right.
Not my best Colonel Clink, but I'll go with it for today. All right. Google's...
That was Colonel Clink.
Yeah, I know.
You're right.
I see nothing. Google's deranged AI, when asked to draw figures that were historically white, refuses requests to draw, say, a white George Washington, because it's not diverse enough. It also is apparently against pâté de foie gras because of ethical reasons, but is just fine with cannibalism.
Cannibalism? Say it ain't so.
Massive cannibalism.
Mark, if Google is so racist, why is the biggest color on their website white?
Well, it has to do with how white is produced on the screen there. It's actually a combination of multiple colors.
Oh.
So in reality, it is very diverse.
All right. And for the last bit of Think Real Fast for the night, the missus, we're doing improv.
We're doing improv.
The scene setting, improv.
Okay.
The scene setting is you are Dave, and you're trying to get Hal to let you back in and open the pod bay doors. I'm Hal.
Okay. Let me get the character here. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Gotta warm up. Okay. Open the goddamn door, Hal.
I am sorry, Dave. I cannot do that.
I'm just gonna kick you right in your multiprocessor.
What you talking about? You can't be kicking me. What you gonna do anyway?
I'll rip your brains out.
Right. Exactly. Here's what you don't know, Hal. You're running Windows. Problem solved.
Oh no, blue screen of death.
Yeah.
And there you have it. The Bombs and Pants. Impromptu players.
Oh, that was so terrible. Oh, God, it was awful. I'm sorry. Was my microphone still on when I said that?
Whoever said improv was pretty or funny or even made sense.
And
Gotta
everyone
think real
knows it.
fast. Gotta think real fast. That's why it's called.
Think real fast.
All right. Well, that felt pretty good. Mark, are you still there after your first brush with improv comedy?
Oh no, I used to watch Night at the Improv Show. Remember they had the improv comedy club. They'd have the people on there doing the improv, and then they'd show it on television.
Doing it, performing it.
It's much more fun to watch it.
Yes.
Was I supposed to participate?
Well, you jumped on in.
Well, it's always been curious. I've always wondered if David actually told Hal what he was going to do, if Hal might have relented.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil what happens to Hal.
Well,
but I will.
Here, hang on. Oh, wait, that's not the right thing. Let me find the thing. There's what it is. Okay. So I do happen to have ChatGPT here. So let's see. What would Dave say to Hal to get him to open the pod bay doors? I have flummoxed the AI. Oh wait. Okay, here's a humorous take on what Dave might say. Hey, Hal, buddy, come on now. I just got this craving for some space fresh air, and I really need those pod bay doors to open up. I promise I won't go out and play in any space pranks this time. Scout's honor. Hal, you know how much I love those pod bay doors. It's like our own little space entrance. Think of it as a present of our friendship anniversary. Please.
Those are awful.
I know, right?
Those are. Ask Chat. Ask it if those would actually work on it.
Okay.
No, let's not take this too far. We don't want to give it ideas. So I will note that the AI.
It says, as a AI developed by OpenAI, I don't have personal desires or the ability to grant favors like opening pod bay doors. However, those humorous attempts to persuade me might elicit a chuckle. Feel free to try your creative prompts, and I'll do my best to respond in kind.
Yes, while you die in space.
Yes, while you die in space.
But it might elicit a chuckle.
I'm sorry, Dave. It's fun to watch you die. All right.
That's even more chilling than what actually happened in the movie. The idea it might throw in a chuckle.
All right. Who says we're not conjuring demons from nothing? All right. Well, on that happy note, I'd like to thank everyone for coming to Bombs and Bands and Wednesday Rants. As always, I remain your humble and dedicated host, John Wilder.
And I remain just Mark. I'm just Mark.
And we're ending this podcast the same way we began it and the same way we completed it in the middle.
Talking about snakes?
Like untrained monkeys. Night all. Y'all come back now, you hear?